The journey to get to Golisano has been a long one. Prior to coming here, both boys were diagnosed with an ultra-rare disease called Batten CLN6. It has profoundly changed our entire family structure, as well as how we view and see the world. My little boy Blakey was excelling in school up until about 3. Then everything changes. You become bedridden, you stop walking, you stop talking. It was January 15th at 1 o'clock in the morning, and Brett went into convulsions. And up until this point, Brett never had a convulsion. He was limp, he was gray, his stomach was distended, and we immediately called the ED. We actually raced him here, and the emergency department was waiting outside the doors. They took him and they ran, and I did not know where my son went. He was in the resuscitation room, and within 1 hour we were in the ICU, and I remember that moment, and I felt so alone. I didn't know what was going on, and surgery came barreling through the door, and within 5 minutes he was being wheeled into his first surgery. When they took Brett back, I was warned that he would not return the same. I really wasn't prepared for what would come, and what came after that was Brett was ventilated, Brett was heavily sedated, and he was also paralyzed. Half of his lower bowel was completely removed. It was later found out a clot went into his lower bowel and basically cut off the oxygen supply. Dr. Tega was working that evening, and he came in, and the two of us stood there and really talked and discussed what was coming. We prepared for the worst. We knew that it would not have a potential outcome that we really wanted to hear. When you expect the worst and a miracle just happened, and to not have the proper equipment after a team of people saved their lives is something that I could not possibly do without. I've watched families do the ultimate sacrifice and donate organs, and standing in the hallway and watching as that child passes by and watching as that family passes by. I watch families leave without the correct wheelchair or the right medical device, and I knew in my heart that that child would not have the chance to recover to the appropriate measure. I've watched children who were given a 1 or a 2 or a 3% chance of even surviving, and then not having the right rehabilitation resource to gain that next level, to just return to life or have the ability to have some sort of normalcy. I witnessed all that, and I witnessed the parents struggling, even at times, to decide what they were going to do for their next meal. They're not going to be thinking about the right rehabilitation or how do we get there or what type of equipment we may need. Those are the things that I witnessed, and that's really a struggle in a parent's eye, and it's really hard to watch as another parent because you're up here and there's so much stress going on, and then you have this other factor of what happens when the door opens and you walk through it. Life changes. Families, when they enter the ICU, do not leave the ICU the same way, and every family that I've spoken to, I can tell you they love this unit. Your gift today impacts Southwest Florida families for a lifetime.